You're a leader for a while, and now you think it's time for changing some habits, for introducing some new tools, and you are a bit hesitant, you don't know how to do it. Stay tuned. This is for you. There are business leaders out there who achieve what they want. And there are all the others. Leading is a discipline and art, not a talent. You can learn it, you can even master it. Make sure you get what you want. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever and wherever you hear us. This is the Live It Lead It podcast, the official podcast of the leadership stars of Europe. Welcome, Musab, again.
Hey, Olaf. How are you?
Awesome. Excellent. It's getting brighter. I like it. We are in January now, right?
Yes.
And I like all the days beyond 21st of December because then the days get longer.
Right.
This darkness bugs me. So what do we have today?
So today we have a topic that I was always wondering about in management. We have a lot of managers that have been doing this for a long time, and they want to change, but there are a few factors that are kind of limiting their potential to change. So how can they how can they start to apply these things to make themselves a better manager?
You mean here's this manager and she knows she has room for improvement?
Yes.
And then the situation comes in the office and all eyes on her, and she, because she's too shy, she's doing her old behavior again?
Yes, like exactly.
This? Yeah. I think when you're at that point, from my point of view, congratulations, because you know that you have room for improvement.
Right.
So half of the journey done, I think. We have mainly three killers, so to say, for your own success. So one is vanity. I'm too cool for that. One is laziness. Yeah, I know, but I do tomorrow. And one is cowardness. Like, this is the right point in time, but I'm not brave enough. Because doing something different always is a little bit of an adventure.
Right.
So, when you know that you have room for improvement, change potential, optimization potential, then you already have stuck your head out of the crowd. So then you are the person. So let's turn this a little into and not start from the change itself, because I know change is always a bit uncomfortable. Change costs more energy. Change always have the risk of making what unexperienced people call a mistake. So it's change is always like, I don't know.
Right.
Why? Let's start there. Why do you want to change? Because when you have, and this is not a general, you cannot give a general question on this, but when you say, here I am, and as I said, some managers do this for decades, and now you see my behavior from the last years. Let's not talk about decades here. This is a bit too big. My behavior of the last years was the best behavior that I could deliver in the last years. Now I listen to all of these podcasts and I find out that there is the one or the other thing which I could do better. So my first advice is don't look at the back. Don't look in your timeline to the back. Because whatever you've done in the past, that was your best options. And I think we've spoken about this
yes, we have.
Several times. So don't judge this. So, and then what do you want to achieve? Don't change because of the change. I mean, I advise change because of the change, because then the goal that I want to achieve is that the brain stays flexible. So do things differently, do things differently, do things differently all the time. But doing this for several people is still troublesome. It costs energy. It doesn't feel right. Don't focus on the behavior. Focus on what do you think you achieve with that new behavior. So when you are, I don't know, you are in this one company for 10 years and Maybe it's not really a tech online company, because there you cannot execute the same behavior since 10 years, because 10 years ago, nothing of that was existent. So let's assume you are some brick and mortar company. And now you feel, let's say year by year, your employees become younger and younger. They behave wrong, because this is how most people judge others. Other people behave wrong, apart from me. You see and you feel that you're not getting the results out of your employees which you got out of the other team 8 years ago. So what is your goal? You want to get the same results out of it. Maybe if this is your company, you can see, you have different numbers where you can see the outcome, the performance of the team. Maybe you want, so performance, this could be one. Maybe you've understood that you need to change business models faster. You need to change what you do much faster, because you have to change things much faster nowadays. We are 2020 now, and the only thing that's constant is change. So yes. You cannot, if you're incentivized by yourself, by the organization, by whatever, do the same thing like we've done yesterday, but only a little bit better, then these times come to an end, and maybe you understood this. So what do you want to achieve? You want to achieve change. You want to achieve faster organization, whatever this is. So I think my advice is, first articulate what you want to achieve. What is the goal that you want to hit with this change of behavior? So then the second thing is, we need to do this by video. I was lifting up the middle finger because I think so many people deal or take care too much about what they think, what the others think about them.
Yes, that's very true. It's so it's reflected in our daily lives. Like, people are paralyzed; they don't want to move because they're worried about what others think. So imagine you're walking in the street and you have you just notice you have a coffee stain on your shirt. The only thing you can think about is, oh my God, everyone's looking at me and I'm so horrible. They must think I'm a slob. And you start putting these negative thoughts in your head. And what you realize is that nobody cares. They see you, they look, maybe they notice the stain, and then they move on with their life. You need to kind of start realizing that people don't care about things as much as you think they do.
I think what helps is when you change the position. So you think about what the others think about you. In the same time, the others are busy with thinking about what the others think about them. So which leads us to, nobody thinks about themselves, because everybody thinks about what the others think about themselves.
Exactly. Once you realize that, it gives you such a great sense of power, because you're not really worried about what others think, and it kind of frees you up to do as you wish. You're more confident. You're stronger. You think quicker. So many people, I've realized through the years, do not perform in all aspects of life, in terms of work, relationship, friendship, whatever, because they're too busy worrying about what people think, and so they're not focusing on the task at hand.
Yeah,
they're not focusing on what that person is saying on a date. They're worried about how they look, and it makes you come across in a negative way, either that you don't care or you're too selfish or whatever it may be.
Absolutely.
So good point.
So this is the middle finger approach, and this is not, what's the word, ignorance or even arrogance. This is self-confidence. It's not about not changing about, not taking care about the rest of the world at all. That's not what we're talking about. It's about understanding where your own thoughts are just not helpful.
Yes.
So I can see this in so many relationships. When did you bring roses to your love last time? Well, I didn't, because then she thinks I messed something up. Oh my goodness. When did you bring roses to her in the office? No, I didn't, because then all the others look funny at me and laugh at me.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So this is not about ignoring the others. Yes, it is ignoring about the others, but not. The driver is not ignore them because of ignoring them. The driver is ignore them because they don't support my goals.
Exactly. And the premise of this these podcasts are live it, lead it. If you're not doing your full potential, if you're too worried about what others think, you're letting others lead you and dictate your own life. You need to take control, and you need to live your life, and you need to lead your life in order to enhance your own experiences.
Except who else would lead your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so going back to this managerial problems. I've heard this last week or so. I think I read this on somewhere on I think on LinkedIn. So many leaders are knowledge giants, but execution minions. So a lot of people know all of these things, and then you watch what they do, and it's just really not what they know. And then you tell them, well, if you hear then this, and they know, yeah, sure, this would be the right tool. Okay, why don't you then do this tool? And then either we were talking about the art of excuses in an earlier episode. Either they have a nice excuse at hand,
Yeah.
or you can see that they are just simply shying out.
Yeah.
So what's the what can you do? Number one, I think, don't overestimate what others think about you, because the others are more busy with thinking about what you think about them rather than them judging you.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, even if they judge you, you don't need to care at all. You don't need to care. Apart from you're just really messing up big style, and it's your boss who's just not a big fan of this. Yes, obviously, we're not talking about that. We talk about you come in the office with a smile, and everybody knows you as the gray guy with the grumpy face.
Yeah.
So I cannot go into the office and smile. I mean, this is my reputation. I'm the angry. I'm serious. I'm serious. What the fuck? If you changed your life in a way that you understand life is too short to suffer, and you want to screw the grumpy you into the Danube, and you want to start enjoying your life, then do so. Give it a try. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that the others smile back at you.
Yeah.
So, and maybe the brave ones come up to you and say, dude, which podcast are you listening now?
Yeah, exactly. We're not asking you to do anything difficult or negative. We're asking you to do something that's going to benefit you in the long term. And even if people are surprised or taken aback, it's a positive or a pleasant surprise.
That's the thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so when you have this new tool at hand, which you want to introduce, in my world, it's more impressing if a leader comes up with new ideas and even plays it open, and I recommend to play it open, like, okay, folks, here is this new tool. It sounds absolutely reasonable to me. It sounds like this is what could help us. We will give this a try. What do you mean we'll give this a try? We try? I like when leaders are self-confident enough that they can say, okay, here's something that we try out. We give this 8 weeks, and if it doesn't work, then we throw it away. This has nothing to do with your ego. This has nothing to do with you as a person. It's just, tools are not connected to people in my world.
Yeah, absolutely not. And not only does it kind of in a way humanize you to your employees, it makes them feel like they also have an opinion in the tools and the logistics of the company that you use.
Yeah.
So you're telling them, hey, as you said, you're being self-confident. So you're letting them know, hey, I had an idea, or I heard about this. It may work, it may not work. Let's try it for a few weeks, give it some time, and then we'll get some feedback and see how it goes. It's very rarely you're going to find someone that has a negative view of that. Even if it's something that it may take them a while to get used to, psychologically, you kind of ease the burden a little bit because you tell them, hey, we might not continue this. So they're like, oh, okay, I got to deal with 6 weeks of one-on-ones, and then we'll see. And then in the end, they might end up liking it. Yeah. So, yeah, great. Yeah, that's a great point.
And additionally, it's always good, especially nowadays, as I said, 2020 onwards, for people who have influence, and every manager out there and leaders as well have influence, it is a good thing to stay in the move, to stay in the mind of change. So start with different socks in the morning, wear your watch on the other arm. Do whatever you do. Drive always a different way to office. This is, get used to these small things. You don't want to be like this turtle doing the same thing. The moon comes up and it jumps, or not jumps, turtles don't jump, and it crawls to the beach to get the eggs in the sand. No, this is not, this, life's too short for this.
No, not only that, very, very, a good issue you brought up, kind of going onto the psychological and medical aspect of it a little bit. There have been a lot of studies that show that switching things, just as simple as changing your route to work or the way you walk or your routine, it decreases the risk of you getting Alzheimer's later on in life. Because we spoke a lot about being comfortable, and we're talking about patterns now. Your brain has that certain pattern. Every day I'm going to go this way to work. And once you do that, you're not using your brain. Your brain activity is very low. If you're going a new way to work, if you're you have a new routine, you have to actively think. You're using your brain. It's not on autopilot. You have to take control. So it's not only will it improve your work performance, it could save you later on in life. It could save you a lot of medical issues.
Ooh, that's a cool one.
Yeah,
that's a cool one. Yeah. So switch off the autopilot. It's good for certain places, but if you want to change a habit, then make sure that you're used to switch off the autopilot.
Yes.
So, and yeah, don't take care about the others. Make sure that you're not too lazy for this, that you're not shying out, and that you keep your vanity where it should be. It's not worth to wait on the judging of other people. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah. Great. All right. Thanks a lot, Olaf.
Good. What's up? Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.